It's a sport that's almost become synonymous with the Isle of Man over recent years, and cycling is something the island will be having high hopes in once more when the Island Games in Guernsey get underway next month. The Isle of Man cycling squad will be made up of 12 members, a 5-strong group of Will Draper, Niall Quiggin, Mark Hosthouse, Jamie Fletcher and Michael Fade will make up the road race team. Elsewhere, the MTB team will feature Elliot Baxter, Owen Collins, Eric Kelly, Alex Rockwell and Ross Thorley, with Sasha Hosthouse and Kiri Quayle also forming part of the travelling team. The task of getting them ready for this year's games falls to Isle of Man cycling team co-managers Gianni Epifani and Rob Sorby. The duo have huge faith in their athletes and, as they told me, they believe this squad has the quality to achieve great things.
Yeah, preparation's been going really well. We've had a number of races on the island, both for the road and for the mountain bike team. Some good performances by the riders that are taking part in Guernsey, so everything's going to plan at the moment.
And Rob, the fact that we've got riders across different disciplines, so the likes of the roads and the mountain biking side of things, it's further testament again of the cycling quality that keeps coming out of the Isle of Man year after year.
Yeah, we've always performed well as a sport cycling in terms of the Island Games. I think we're the leading medal haul in terms of since it's been going since 1985. So, yeah, this group of people who are involved, the team that we've selected this time, we're going there with high expectations, as we always do as a cycling team.
One of the challenges that all Manx sports have to some degree is the fact that you'll have some athletes on island and some off island. So how is that with the cycling? Has it been relatively straightforward, or has that been a bit of a challenge logistically?
It normally is, but the majority of the team for this games are based on the island. We've got Jamie Fletcher is based off island, but I think he's going to travel over before the games and travel down to Guernsey on the direct flight. So it hasn't been as much of a challenge this time. So most of the preparation will be done on island with local races, and a number of riders will target UK races as well, just to sharpen up their fitness before they head to Guernsey.
And Rob, just leading on from that, the fact that you do have basically everyone together almost all the time, that must be really good from your team management side of things to get everyone into a rhythm. Everyone's, I suppose, reading off the same page going into what's going to be naturally high competition in the cycling in the Island Games.
Yeah, both the road team and the mountain bike team are made up primarily of local people, athletes who are sort of at the amateur level of the sport, but have targeted the Island Games as something to aim for. So yeah, we've got the group of mountain bikers who regularly ride together and who have taken part in all the races. So which is sort of being run with Elliot Baxter as the lead there, obviously with numerous Island Games experience, and the road team is made up of sort of senior racers, not as in old people, but lads who are in their sort of 20s, in their prime, may have a day job, but this is they've gone into the cycling team with the Island Games as their highest aim, really, that they've targeted to get themselves fit. So yeah, everyone's really looking forward to it.
And Gianni, speaking of training as well, everyone talks about the Isle of Man as just a great place to cycle in general. You've got your lovely long roads that you can get out some miles on, or obviously some big ascents and descents around the Isle of Man, depending on where you go. And if you're in a big city in the UK, you might not get that. So is the Isle of Man a great place to train as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mecca really for cycling. The tradition that we have in terms of the races that have been held on the island, but as a training base, it's got everything you need. It's got hills, it's got quiet roads, you can do your time trial training as well. It's got fantastic trails for mountain bike riders as well. So everything we need training wise is on the island. So yeah, it's perfect.
So Rob, looking to Guernsey as well, I'm not going to ask you to make any specific predictions or anything like that, but what should the Isle of Man cycling team be aiming for once they get out there?
The road team, we want to attack the race really. We want to get riders up the road. If you know anything about road racing, generally there'll be a breakaway. We want people in that, and if we get people in the breakaway, in the road race and the crit, I'm sure we're going to come away with medals. The time trial's a difficult one. We've got a time trial specialist in Will Draper, who will probably be our main rider in that one, pushing for that. And then obviously the mountain biking. In the past, we've done really well in the team medals at mountain biking as well as the individual. So hopefully we can get riders up there with our best 3 riders placing top, so we can end up with team gold. We've taken team gold away from the mountain biking in the past 3 or 4, I think, now, going back. So yeah, Elliot's led that team, so hopefully he can do it again.
And Gianni, the Island Games as a platform for athletes as well, we've seen many cyclists come from the Isle of Man into different levels, maybe some going on to elite level over the years. The fact that you have something like the Island Games where people can use that as a stepping stone, if they want it, to go to higher levels again as well, that must be really crucial for some of these athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I think as Rob has alluded to, for a number of our riders, it's going to be the pinnacle of their career. But for some of the younger riders, it could be a platform to Commonwealth Games. I remember in Guernsey 2003, a certain Mark Cavendish, he managed to get a couple of medals, and it was a platform for him to go and be one of the best cyclists in the world. So yeah, it's a massive thing for the Isle of Man. You know, as I said, some cyclists will be the pinnacle of their career, and for others it'll be a platform to go into greater things.
And Rob, just leading on from that, in terms of experience for some of those who may not have been to an Island Games for the first time, you know, what are the biggest lessons that they might learn from, say, an international competition like this that they may not have had already?
Well, the Island Games is somewhere in between cronky body sports and the Olympics, isn't it? So it's that level. It's a really great event. I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to a few of them. As you've alluded to before, the camaraderie and the sort of atmosphere is fantastic. So yeah, I think our team contains pretty much the vast majority of them are first-time Island Games competitors. So it's just going to be a great experience all the way from the opening ceremony to the closing ceremony to competing. So yeah, it's something going to be really special for their career as a cyclist, but as a person as well, representing the Isle of Man.
And finally, Gianni, one of the modes that Rob mentioned there, you know, camaraderie. A lot of people talk about the Island Games and the fact that, yes, obviously there's high-level competition there, but there's also quite a special atmosphere about it as well. You yourself have Island Games experience. What can people enjoy about the atmosphere and the occasion of it?
Yeah, you can get close to the athletes. Obviously the people of Guernsey and people who are going to go over to watch are going to see some fantastic performances. But also there's individual medals. But also there's team medals as well, and that's where you get that team spirit and everyone working for each other. But it's going to be a fantastic week of competition in all the sports, so I'm looking forward to it, and people are going there to watch are going to be in for a treat.
Thank you for having the stamina to make it to the end of the Manx Radio Sportscast. You're clearly someone who has their eye on the ball at all times. Want to hear more about the latest sporting news across the Isle of Man and much more? Then might I recommend you take the plunge and subscribe to this series or a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so that, in a flash, all of our finest moments take a winner's place on your smartphone. Thank you.